Hey guys, welcome back. Today on Balance Podcast, we have my friend and artist Justo The MC.
Peace.
With Emil, also interviewing him.
What's going on, guys?
But yeah, so this is a little different than what we're used to doing. It's usually in our own studio, which is my apartment, but now we're moving on up a little bit, and fame's getting a little bit, so...
Got you in Jersey.
Exactly, yeah. Jersey. So, yeah, man, I guess... welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me, guys.
Thanks for being
Appreciate
here.
Appreciate
You're
it.
our first guest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fire.
We're starting to do these interviews, and we just thought, what better than a local rapper from Brooklyn.
Sure.
And you got a video coming out today, right?
It actually came out yesterday.
It came out yesterday, yeah. So we'll put the links below.
Break the Mold. Go check that out. It's also on all digital platforms. Me and my man Maticulous.
Absolutely.
Back at it again.
Yes, I already watched it. You know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's on my phone. Download the song.
Just a plug so everyone knows the intro song that you guys have on your podcast. That's from our me and Maticulous's first album, Mind of a Man. So
and that's been a big
every
help.
time you guys hear that joint, that's your boy and my man Maticulous. So, but I appreciate you guys for using it.
Yeah, man. Thanks for letting us have it. You know, we're a little broke right now, so we can't afford to pay for
pain, man. I feel you.
But yeah, no. So yeah, we're just gonna get a little insight on your take on everything. You know, like your come up and how you feel about like things moving forward. And, yeah, man. It's really interesting to have you here and just have a different take on people in different industries.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess I'll start us off with a layup for you. What made you get into music?
Just boredom. I always liked music. I grew up with music. There was always some kind of music playing when I was growing up. My family are, big on music, R&B, hip hop, jazz, gospel, so all kind of stuff. So it was just a boredom thing. I just used to write, and one day I got the balls to just, rap in front of a group of people. It was like your stereotypical hip hop story, like. Right. Guys were rap battling like in the cafeteria, and I had my little rhymes, and I was like, I wonder if I should do it. And I had a homeboy who was like, I'll never forget this. He's actually a twin because it was two guys. They're twins, but one of the brothers, I was cool with him, and he was like, dude, like you should just go down there and rap. Yeah. Went down there and did it, and I haven't stopped since. I was 15, so I'm almost 15 years in of. That was the start of my career, like rap battling and stuff. Yeah,
and that's a common theme. It's like a creative way to express yourself.
Sure.
You can be bored and you could just do dumb stuff all the time. Like we were all at that age, and it's like we're bored, so we take our bikes down and just cause ruckus. Yeah. But what's wrong with just being creative and pouring your soul out, Yeah.
I mean, you think about how many people, even a show like Jackass, where guys are just doing stuff.
Exactly.
It clearly started with them just being children doing silly stuff, and it was a passion enough where it turned into
a money-making endeavor.
Their money-making endeavor. Yeah. Tony Hawk was probably somewhere flipping around his bike and started landing and was like, hey, man, I could do this. So, it's so many different things. I always tell kids, just do what you love, man. And
we were sitting there arguing with each other, and now we got a podcast.
Yeah, no, exactly.
That's how it goes.
Argue with each other.
Yeah, we're talking, we might as well talk and get people to actually, chime in.
Seriously.
So, makes sense.
And, my newfound respect for, what you guys do. Because you know me, I've always been the cameraman. Whenever we did anything
of course,
together, I'm behind there. So, I remember all the takes and stuff, and you're just I didn't like this. And, now... I get it.
You get it.
It's tough, man.
If anything, you're let's do another take.
Exactly.
Let's get this thing going.
Exactly.
Right.
Because it's not, you got to iron out the details, man. Yeah. It's not simple. People see the end product, and it doesn't, translate as how much work actually went.
They actually don't get it. I actually had a friend who watched my video, and she was like, so did you rap it? Is that you, actually rapping, right now? On the video, I was like, nah, it doesn't work like that. That's my actual track mixed in with, the video that has no sound.
Exactly.
But they don't get, a lot of people don't get that. If you're not in that world, you don't even understand how a recording session works, if you're not a part of it.
No, right.
So
in a way, it's inspiring because people see that and they're like, oh, I could fucking do that shit. Dude, no. But also at the same time, reality hits you and they're like, oh, I gotta put work into this.
Yeah,
right.
Money,
so
all this shit.
For you and other people out there doing it, it's that's why we're drawn to it's success and like attempt.
Right.
Because that's really the key to all this.
Yeah.
You can sit there, watch videos, or like, I could do what they do, but have you even tried to do what they do, you know?
Right.
And obviously you're 15 years in deep and it resonates with us and it's resonating with people. It's like, I think I played your song Stereotype twice on the way over here.
He rewinded. I didn't even say anything. He just like rewound it again.
Fire,
Yeah,
man.
I was like, hold on a minute.
That's dope.
Let's go back to the start.
That's dope. That's dope.
And it's like, dude, even the recording thing. Like, so I've loved rap since I was a kid, and like when we linked up, that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But like when you brought me into the studio, I think Premiere Studio.
Yeah, I brought you into
these studios.
I brought this guy into D&D Studios before Premiere actually left D&D Studios.
Yeah.
I took him into DJ Premiere's D&D Studios.
Which was crazy because like at
live
that
from
time,
headquarters.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
It wasn't a thought to me.
Right.
And like when I was there, like, oh yeah, I look at the name of the list and it's like you have Joey there, you have Chappelle on the list. I'm like,
That's awesome.
these guys are gonna pull up here. Like this is who he's working with. This
Yeah.
guy. I'm like, and then I think it was Slaughterhouse's producer that was in there.
No, that
No,
was
who was
Parks. So Parks now he works with actually works with a podcast. He works with Joe Budden's podcast.
Oh
now.
no, work. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
nice.
he does the engineering and stuff for
That's
that,
awesome.
and he's still an engineer for a whole bunch of other music and stuff.
That's crazy, man.
So that just further cements like how tied you are into all of this. It's like Steffi
sure.
was telling me before, like you have some association with Gangstar.
Yeah. So I want to say 2010, 2011. I linked up with my cousin. His name is Vic Black, and he pretty much came up with Gangstar.
That's
so
awesome.
DJ Premier, Guru, he came up with all those guys, and my family was like, yo, Justo rap. Well, they didn't say Justo. They said my government. But he raps now.
We don't talk about
He raps now, so you should check him out. So he did. He checked me out, and he was impressed. And the funny thing was, he came around twice. So the first time he came around, he was like, he needs a little work.
Right.
I was like, whatever. I was like 18 or something at the time.
I don't know what he's talking about.
I was like fresh out of high school, so I was like, whatever, man, bump this guy.
Yeah.
And then he came back a couple years later, 2 years later, 3 years later, and he was like, yeah, he's ready.
Nice.
So I could have took it the wrong way and just been like, I don't want to quit, but I didn't. I kept going. So long story short, he took me under his wing. I got to meet Premier. I got to actually have a really close relationship with him, and we actually worked together for about 6 years. The funny thing was I never got a chance to actually do a track with Premier.
Yeah.
That would have been.
But I recorded in his studio almost all the time.
Right.
At one point, I was at his studio like maybe 3 times out of a week, 4 times out of a week. I would be leaving when he was leaving, closing up shop.
That's awesome, man.
I've been to his crib a couple times. Man, I've traveled with him before. I've gone to Philly and I forgot the other place I went, but I went with him to the Roots picnic in Philly. Backstage, I got to meet everybody. I literally was I saw Erykah Badu in the back and Ghostface Killer and
how inspiring is that for you to just see all that stuff around and be like, okay, I'm making progress.
It's for me it was bittersweet because I got to be exposed to a lot of people. I got to be in the same room with Slaughterhouse, as you mentioned before. Lloyd Banks was actually in that room too. I was just in a little conference room before they were going to perform. And I'm in a room with Joe Budden and Lloyd Banks and Royce the 5'9". I'm just bugging out, and I got to meet so many guys. But I think just being able to have those opportunities and then not fully see myself where I wanted to be because of situations that I had with my manager at the time, it was tough. So now it's I can say it and it feels good that I was able to experience those things. But on the other side, it's you see all the guys that were coming up when I was coming up, like Joey Badass, Rhapsody. There's a bunch of guys that were coming up when I was coming up. What's the dude? He's he does Atlanta. What's that show, Atlanta?
Oh, Donald Glover.
Yeah, but what's his artist name? Childish Gambino. He was another one who was coming up around the same time I was coming up. And it's you see everyone exploding on the scene.
And you're like, hey, where's my...
And I'm like, damn, but it, because of personal situations and kind of situations between a Premier and my manager that it just couldn't move forward. Just a lot of internal battles and stuff and struggles. So
it's a common theme.
But now I get to do it myself, and you figure it out from there. But learning and being a part of that stuff was cool though.
Yeah.
Being able to see the kind of stuff like recording in the same studio as Biggie and Nas. I actually got to meet Nas at DMD.
I remember,
and he was chilling, and like I'm just like, this is Nas. Like he's chilling on the couch, and I'm just standing by the door, like this is Nas.
Yeah,
with DJ Premier talking to him and introducing me to Nas.
Yeah,
that's
you know, like
surreal.
It was surreal. It was surreal. But you know, you move on, and you know, I try not to harp on it. I just try to move forward.
Well, you're 30 years young, man. So like, you just take that as a learning experience.
Yeah, man.
And now you know what you're doing better.
Absolutely. You know, and I feel like I always used to feel like my window was shrinking because you know. If
That's
you're a producer,
with this biological clock, he's like, you know, when am I gonna get a lady? When am I gonna have kids? I'm like,
there's certain lanes that are a young man's game. So like being an actual rapper MC, it's kind of a young man's game. It's like being in a sport.
Yeah,
like you don't want to be 40 and start playing in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah, that's
you know. But
unless you're on the roids.
Yeah.
But even then, your body breaks down a lot faster.
Yeah,
so with the rap game, it's like you don't want to be a 30-something-year-old rapper still trying to make it. Now, if you're like Jay-Z and you've been doing it for years, and you so happen to be 50 years old still rapping, it is what it is. You already have your lane.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, when you're starting out, it's like
not different.
You don't want to be 35, 40, like, oh, I'm gonna try to be a rapper and shit. So, you know, I'm just trying to avoid that. I'm trying to make sure I get in before
we'll edit this out. Justo's actually 22. His birthday was 2 days ago. So you guys,
I'm pretty old, man. It is what it is.
It's how you feel, right?
Look me up.
But no, when we were shooting our last video, things happen, whatever, and that is what it is.
Sure.
You know? But like, can you refresh my memory on how you like linked up with Maticulous? Because like I know you were with Elle before, and
right. So Maticulous and I actually met in front of the Sirius Satellite building, like where Shade 45 and all that stuff is done. So like 50 something or whatever. I was actually doing an interview. I was actually being interviewed by somebody. Matter of fact, a dude named B-Shine, he's like really known in the hip hop community. And Maticulous was with DJ Eclipse and I think MC Owl. He was with a couple of guys.
Yeah.
And I think they were going up, and I knew Eclipse from my time with Premier and Vic, so you know, pounded up with him, said what's up. And B-Shine obviously knew Maticulous and Eclipse. So we just started kicking it, and he was like, you know, Justo raps, you guys should get together. And I was like, everyone says that. So I just was like, sure, like, you know, whatever, hit me up. We exchanged Instagrams, and I didn't think anything of it because, like I said, everyone does that. But sure enough, the next week he had hit me up, and he sent me some beats, and I work really fast too, so I hurried up and recorded to a bunch of them, and that's been it ever since. I think we're almost 2 years in.
Yeah, man.
So
it's funny because like that's kind of how like we met.
Yeah.
Like when we met, like I don't remember how many years now. Like it was
a while ago,
bro,
man.
like 6, 7 or something.
8 years ago, man.
It was like I met you through Varun.
Mutual friend.
Of ours.
Yep.
And we were just watching, what was it, a Giant game or something?
Giants vs. Bears, man. Because he's from Chicago, and obviously I'm a Giants fan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We'll touch on that later. But it was just like, because I think Varun mentioned, or I forget exactly how it happened. Like either mentioned.
LB was there too, no?
I think El was there. Yeah.
Oh no, he wasn't. But he mentioned LB. He mentioned that we worked together. On some music, and you were like, "Oh, I shoot videos. I do like production stuff," and I was like,
Interesting. Yeah, exactly. We both like do that.
We both had the click, and then So I mean, look, I feel like when you follow your life's path, things just come to you. If you force it, you have a harder time. But if you're doing what you love and you're doing what works with whatever the universe has for you, that stuff will just come to you, man. I've been so many random places. And like, for instance, just to give a quick tidbit, I used to work at Coney Island. So I used to work at the actual
like the
park.
Roller coaster.
Yeah, I used to work at the park. I was a game operator. I'm giving you guys an insight. And scoop. At this place, no lie, I met a girl who ended up taking pictures for 2 of my albums with LB.
Oh, nice. Oh, the Fly Soul?
Yep.
Oh, word.
One with LB and the 718 joint I did.
Okay, yeah.
But she did, those pictures were taken by her. She was a photographer.
Oh, nice.
I met another girl who ended up being a singer, and we did a couple tracks together. I met another guy who you know, Alex Babbitt. He's a comedian.
Yeah,
I met him at this. I met these 3 people at that one place. I hated the job, but I met these 3 people, and there's to this day people I still connect with.
That's crazy.
And people I've worked with in different capacities with my music. Because I had Alex on a song.
Yeah, dude, that's still
as an intro. I had her do photography, and I had the other girls singing on tracks with me. So if you're doing what you're supposed to do, people just come to you.
That's like a positive way of looking at it, man. Because it's like you can be stuck at a dead end job or something you don't like.
Yeah.
But everybody's a little creative.
Sure.
So, and you can't do everything on your own.
Yep.
You know. So if you
impossible.
Yeah.
Impossible.
You can try.
You can try.
I know I've tried as far as film, be able to film, edit, and all that stuff. And then at one point I was like, this is too much. Like I want to be able to do it, and like I can't get it done, and like I fall back on things, and that's why it's like it's easier to have an editor, have someone to film, someone to act like. I know you do it with your company too, man.
Well,
like
it's well with my general contracting company, it's like I've got
this guy.
Dude, it's really not all it seems, man. It's like I'm trying to do all this shit. I'm wearing so many hats, and like I don't know what I'm doing half the time. And that's how we linked up. It's like before this guy, we edited videos together. He was my tax guy.
Yeah.
And my tax guy, we're throwing fucking receipts. I mean, is the IRS gonna hit me for this?
Hopefully not.
Yeah, we paid all the taxes. We're good now.
Oh damn! Don't tell him yourself. Don't tell him yourself.
It was a rough start.
It
was a rough start, but they're good now. But you need people,
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
Definitely don't need the IRS though, but you need people.
Nobody needs that.
Yeah, no, not the IRS. But yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Just linking up with the right people to kind of make your path a little bit easier because it works out both ways.
Yeah.
It's not like a
you help
one-way
them,
street.
they help you, and together you get to share a vision
That's
together.
how you do it. Don't be a prude. Don't be a prick. Don't
be greedy.
Don't be greedy. Don't burn bridges. Do not burn bridges, man. You never know, man. I had a guy, I couldn't stand him, and I worked for him, but I ended up needing a gig, and because I didn't say go fuck yourself, he ended up being like, you can come back, and he ended up giving me, helping me out, but
you gotta.
And I hated him, like I really couldn't stand this dude, like, but
sometimes
happens.
you take it on the chin, but as long as you don't compromise your pride or your morals or principles,
right?
Like you gotta suck it up sometimes because you don't know what's going on in their life. Sure. You got your problems, they got their problems. It doesn't click right then and there, but it might somewhere down the line.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
I got a fun question. So what's one thing? Because you meet a lot of people, I'm sure, whether it's work or in the industry. Like,
sure.
What's the one thing that people seem to either misunderstand you or they get off on the wrong foot? Yeah, about you. Like
just in general.
Yeah, just
as a person.
It could be perception or like when they meet you and it's like.
People think I'm
too cool.
Not an intellect. They think like
really?
Yeah, for sure.
We sat outside for 30 minutes to know each other, and I'm already.
They assume like he's kind of. I've had people actually tell me that yo, I thought you were just kind of like hood, like I didn't because they see I always wear fitted. I'm always in a hoodie if the weather permits. You know what I'm saying? So, that's people's assumption. Like I'm not as well spoken as I come off.
Some people, I don't know.
But that's fine. I mean, I get it because I generalize people too. I think we all do. I think we all, if we're speaking honestly, we all see a person and we're like, I wonder how they really are in real life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and you get to meet people and then you just you find out what it really is. The thing I don't like is when people assume what you are and then they treat you as such.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they don't actually give you the chance to prove them wrong.
Exactly.
That's the thing I don't like because I can obviously see someone and be like, I don't like their vibe. I don't think I might. But then you talk to them.
Oh, not as bad as I see.
Exactly.
But you talk to them openly. You don't talk to them like, I know you're gonna say something stupid.
Someone's gonna have their blinders on or some sort of block or something and be like, all right, what he's saying, I'm not really gonna listen to it because I've already judged him or put him in a certain box in my head, and that's I don't know.
That's the only thing as long as you can be objective when it comes time to actually talk to me, you can think whatever you want from afar. But as long as when you come to me, you're like, let me just see what this dude is about, and I'll remove the doubt as soon as you speak to me.
I can relate to that because people get a similar perspective of me. It's like I'll say
I had one.
dumb stuff. I'll say dumb.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought when I seen the videos, I was like, oh, this guy's kind of. Seems like he's gonna be like, I know you already.
Exactly.
No, I get. Honestly, I get where people are coming from because it's I'm making that deliberate decision to put myself out there in that way.
Sure.
To me, the benefit is I get a reaction out of people, and that makes life interesting for me, as opposed to, hey, sir, how you doing? A formal conversation, yada yada yada. Go back to our daily lives, and I don't know. No, but to me, if I get a reaction from you, and if you understand that, and it's like, oh, this guy's cool, then we can get along really well. He's like, oh, he's fucking around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he's just joking. He's a little, little shit.
Yeah. Well, at first, like, I remember I told you I was watching you guys' podcast, and it was the one when you were talking about blowing stuff. When you were asking the chick from Alabama, and I was like,
No.
At first, I was like, whoa, is this guy really like this? Like, I don't know if I want to do this interview tomorrow. And then as you kept saying it, I was like, oh, he's messing with her.
Yeah.
And then y'all had the scene with the explosion, and I was like, oh, he's definitely messing with her. Okay, I get it. That was clickbait. He's getting at her. He's getting at her.
It's
Because she's from Bama.
It's too easy to not do it because it's like, the funny thing is, like, her friend was from Mexico.
Right, which was crazy.
Yeah. So
living in Alabama.
Yeah, like the two polar opposites. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I couldn't buy my lip. But that's what and it's in good fun.
Right.
Because these people are actually, at the end of the day, nice enough to give us their time. So I don't want to be like, oh, how's it, wearing that robe from Alabama all the time, or Mexico. I was like, how long did it take you to jump the board? These are easy jumps, and they're just funny.
Yeah, you could have went there.
I don't mean anything.
I would have shit myself on the camera. I'm like, no, we're about to.
But that would have, that would have been. Then you would have been on the other side of the spectrum. Then it would have been like, okay, this guy is who I thought.
No, that's what we do here on the balance is we discriminate equally.
Exactly. No, for sure. Everyone should get it. Everyone should get it. Stop being sensitive, people.
No,
yeah, that's a good. And we bonded over that.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because.
For sure.
I don't know, man.
This is I've always wanted to add, or more recently I want to ask you this question, and I'm sure you got a good take on it.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, there's a little traction on it. Cap.
Kaepernick. Yeah.
So obviously everyone should, or at this point, hopefully knows what happened.
Yeah.
Now my question to you is like, have you been keeping up with like the Jay-Z stuff?
Sure, yeah.
How do you feel about that? Because I have my own opinion.
I thought it was fair. I think Jay-Z's in a, just to segue a little bit on Jay-Z, I think he's in an interesting place because he's about, I think he already is a black billionaire, man, from the hip hop world.
Close up there, if not already.
But the difference is he's from the hip hop world. That's
fair enough.
That's unseen. You know what I'm saying? Let alone just a black billionaire itself. So he's in a place where people are gonna judge him no matter what he does. But he's in a place where he has to make these kind of moves. Like now that he's partnering with the NFL, he has to make these kind of moves if he wants to stay current in what he's doing. And when people are the first to do things, everyone thinks, that's suspect. Or they have to judge it. But unless you're in that building becoming the first black billionaire, you should shut the fuck up.
True.
You don't have to deal with the things that he has to deal with, and you have to play both sides.
No, and I agree.
It's the only way it's gonna work. So with Cab, I thought what he had to do with Cab, what he said about the situation and about the NFL in general with the taking the knee, he's right. Take the knee.
Yeah.
But then guys have to do something.
Yeah.
We also have to move forward with what we feel is an injustice. If we just sit there and say, that's like the kid in the back of the room that's like, I hate this teacher, and you're just constantly just, acting up in the class. But what are you gonna do to actually be like, well, what is this teacher actually doing, and what can we do to prevent how you feel about this teacher, right? So it's the same thing in like. We have to figure out a way, okay, we're taking a knee, but what are we going to do to actually get into our communities and make a difference? So that's where he was coming from. I don't think he was being dismissive. He even said he wasn't being dismissive.
True. I just, from me, it was like, from an outside perspective, because like, Well,
we're going to come from two different sides of the spectrum, so I get it.
Yeah, because like, again, I haven't had to go through like half the shit you've had to in this
right.
with the fucking stopping first shit or whatever. Like, that's never going to happen to me.
Right.
Like, I think you were on your way to my apartment one time. And that like happened to you on your way there, and you told me about it. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like that actually like happened?"
Sure.
And we were just like chilling, hanging out. We probably weren't even doing anything.
For sure.
That will like never happen to me.
Right.
Just like
that's surprising. That's happened to me. I got hit with counterterrorism for no reason.
What?
Yeah, I was walking in Times Square and this dog started barking at me, And I was like, what's up with that? I felt like I have a bomb on me or anything, right? But I said that right in front of the fucking
Of course you would.
I was like, Jesus, I don't have one.
Well, you said
you
set yourself up for that.
I don't think it was my white skin. I think it was my big
Yeah,
mouth.
that was what you said. You set yourself up for that one.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But no, it's happened to me before.
Yeah.
I got hit with pissing in the street, but I'm doing crime.
But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is,
but it's unwarranted for you,
Dude.
At least I'm assuming that's what your story was,
Yes,
right?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I got several stories, but we won't go into it.
We can talk
come
about
back
that,
to
but
it.
let's.
We'll come back to it.
But it was more of like, so what I saw from Jay-Z was like, and again, as we both talked about before, like the reason why we were doing this podcast because we want to find an objective middle.
Of course.
The real
Yeah.
thing. Now, I can't tell which side is out there, like saying, Jay-Z, how could he dare partner with the NFL after they're treating Cap this way?
Right.
And that, I can see that perspective. I can see that they're doing that and like why it's kind of messed up that like you're doing this. But I understand why he's doing it also is like he makes the claim that, this is going to help out, black athletes or this is going to help out people that are mistreated.
Right.
If he does have, because he wants to own it.
Listen, the only way that you can make change is be a part of the infrastructure.
True.
So here's the thing.
It's just the looks,
So it just looks messy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not big on football. I like sports. I play them, but I don't know. I don't get crazy. But that's fair enough to you guys.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is, like, from a business standpoint, like at the end of the day, Jay-Z is a businessman, right?
Sure.
He didn't get into this empire by accident, or just because he did some smart moves in his life. He's had some help in his way. I figure if this is what he wants to do, it's a smart business model.
I'm sure it's the NFL, of course.
You think he's going to get in there and he's going to be like, all right, I'm in. First thing I got to do is fuck Kaepernick in the ass. I think it'll help if he's in there. And like,
True.
I kind of relate to what you were saying there. It's like, get in and then do the change.
Yeah, then do
He's
the
not going
change.
to get... You think just because of a matter of pride, he's like, I'm not going to buy a piece of the NFL or whatever it is you're trying to do.
How you going to make the
Kaepernick.
change?
It's
How you
like,
going to make it?
great.
Fair point. No.
Now what happens?
Yeah.
More
How you gonna
needs,
make it?
more nothing.
If you're on the outside just saying like they're doing wrong things, but you're not actually ingratiating yourself with the people and figuring out how we can actually make the change.
It's more of a virtue signal, like, hey, look at me, I'm doing the right thing.
Right.
But you're not doing squat.
No, you're just on the outside looking in, complaining, and you're not actually.
I don't know how lucrative the deal is. I don't really know what the matter is. All I know is like
he's trying to be an owner essentially. So that's what I'm saying. Like, which could be positive, which could help. If he owns a team and he's actually saying what he means as far as Kaepernick and that he backs him, that could be great.
As far as Kaepernick is concerned, I've had up and down feelings about Kaepernick.
Me too.
Because I've always felt like I never thought he was like that great of a quarterback. I know everyone was like,
I don't.
But on the flip side, when you look at the NFL and you look at the landscape of the NFL and the landscape of quarterbacks, you're like, bro, you can't give this guy a chance.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
there's so many backups, especially.
I mean, even guys that are like that have been big names.
Yeah.
Cam Newton, who's been playing terribly.
Yeah.
Eli Manning. I'm not gonna go there.
No. I want to, but we won't.
there's so many guys that have jobs in the NFL and they suck.
Yeah, no, they suck.
So you're telling me like Cap? I mean, he did lead a team to a Super Bowl.
Yeah. They're good.
Nonetheless, Alex Smith was the guy who got him there.
Yeah, fair enough.
But
But wait, let me get this
it is
straight.
what it is.
Yes.
They don't want to give him a job as a quarterback because he took a knee?
I think he's getting blackballed. I definitely think at this point, I think he's getting blackballed. At first, I thought, maybe it's just because he's other teams think.
Is he still on the team?
No,
he's not on any team. He hasn't been on the team for
years
a
now,
couple years now.
He's still, but he'll still like every day put up a video. He's practicing, working out.
But the other guy that was ahead of who was a part, Eric Reed, I believe.
Eric Reed.
He's in the league. So that's the other thing that kind of makes me feel like maybe it is Cap.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not fitting the mold of what teams are looking for in a QB.
What are your thoughts on hip hop right now? Like, not necessarily like mumble rap, but like, I guess the way that artists are putting out music. Because back in the day, it was blogs.
Yeah.
Before SoundCloud was a
back in our day.
In our day, sorry.
Not back in the day.
No, of course. Yeah. Vinyl records.
Right.
But back in our day when we were starting,
blogs were huge,
Joey and all that kind of stuff, that was a big thing. And now it's like streaming,
It's a free for all, man. I think it's a good time to be an artist, though. I think people can go and find what they want to find. And I think the general industry is starting to realize we need some guys who are talking about stuff, some females who are actually talking about stuff, because the climate of our country is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think it helps with guys just blah, 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 and doing that on a track. I think we need guys.
Yeah.
I think
They might have some good points, but I don't know what they're saying.
right, and I can guarantee you they don't. But it's good to have, you know, like I just saw recently, like Rhapsody is getting a lot of love right now. DJ Premier and Guru, they just dropped something last night, and it's on a billboard in you know, well, on a digital billboard in New York City right now. You know, who would have imagined in 2019 Guru would be up on a billboard? You know,
and they got Cole on it too,
and featuring J. Cole.
Yeah.
You know, so I think, you know, those guys like J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, they're creating a lane. Meek Mill right now, who's not a guy who I was a huge fan of until I saw that documentary about him.
That I felt the same way.
And then I listened to his Champions album.
It makes sense now. Like
it all makes sense.
You know, it's not.
It all makes sense, and you know, I couldn't get into him because I felt like he was, you know, he's one of those like shouting rappers.
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like, oh man, this guy screams. But I always make the joke, man. Like I know when he's in the studio, his engineer's like, yo, you're peaking, bro.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah,
I gotta turn you down. But you know, actually getting to see him, like going into his life and seeing the kind of person he actually is, and then revisiting his music, you know, guys like him, the two guys I already named, like, you know, those guys mean something to the game right now. And they're opening up lanes for, you know, little dudes like me who are trying to figure it out and trying to, you know, make my own lane, not rapping like everybody else on the mainstream level. You know, so I think it's a good time. I'm actually not the grumpy old man anymore that's like, oh, these mumble rappers are ruining everything, because they're, you know, they are what they are. But I think people are starting to understand that's a different lane. They're not even putting it on a hip hop level anymore. They're starting to say this is like lo-fi. They're calling it different shit, but it's not hip hop. It's just not, you know. Yeah. It's not. So they can keep doing what they do, and I'm glad, you know, if they got their lane. I'm not mad at it. It does sound really dope when you're drunk in a club.
Yeah,
it really does.
But that's the only time.
But that's the only time I can't listen to it walking around. But kids do. Kids nowadays, they do.
That stuff gives me anxiety, man. I'll be honest with you. But it's the same thing with like.
I'm sorry, I was trying not to laugh.
Way too much stuff going on.
Yeah,
but
sure.
It's like. It's not everything's for everybody.
Right.
And I'm not gonna, if you are into mumble rap, it doesn't even necessarily tell me anything about you.
It doesn't.
You know?
It doesn't.
You could be like.
It tells me one thing.
Yeah, it does.
You want to escape. You definitely don't want to. You don't want to face reality at this point.
That makes
sense. Some guys that do mumble rap, they do talk about specific things, but you're in a different place. You're definitely in a different place.
It's like with all genre music. It's like even EDM. It's like it's got the like the Tiesto stuff from back in the day where that actually was like disco and then it goes
house music feel.
And then you have like dubstep where like some guy's freaking going crazy on a fax machine. I don't get
a different
it.
Place.
But it's some people do. I mean, it's hard not to imagine if you drop in like copious amounts of acid. Yeah. You'll listen to anything, you know. So I get it, but I don't get it, but I get it.
Right.
And I don't have to get it. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. It's whatever the people want to hear. The thing is just. My thing isn't about the people, because like you guys talked about earlier when we had a conversation earlier, the reason why you do your podcast, when you guys go out to talk to people, they're not as, you know, ignorant as people portray our people to, you know, in America to be.
Exactly.
And it's the same thing with music. Not everyone wants to freaking hear mumble rap. No, not everyone's out here like, oh, but because the billboards say this dude made the most numbers and everyone's listening to that song. What's the dude with the
whole? Everybody else must be drawn to him. So
it's not true. It's not true. Not everyone wants to hear that. When you actually listen to people's headphones blasting when you're on the train, you don't always hear that crap. Exactly. It's not true. Maybe when you're around young kids, but that's not the general population. Not everyone wants to hear that.
That's
so
the
game is a lot.
Man.
It's more open than people portray. It's just. Certain artists have to do a better job, you know, including myself, of just getting the people that do want to listen to it. That's why I've been messing with the foreign market for a long time. Like I like to do a lot of music. I like to push my music to the European and Asian communities overseas.
Yeah, that's
the Latin American community overseas. Like if a lot of my music gets played in different like I had a homeboy who hit me up and he has a friend who lives in Serbia and was like,
oh shit,
yeah, dude. And he was like, bro, my homeboy heard your music like in Serbia at a coffee shop.
What?
And I was like, word? And he was like, yeah, he Shazammed it and he was like, oh snap, that's Justo, that's your homeboy. And he hit him up and was like, yeah.
That's funny, man.
Like, and it was stereotype.
It was.
It was the joint stereotype.
Dude, you got
bro.
it, man. But that's the thing with the demographics. Like you don't know what sticks, and I know you're not crazy about that song, but man,
not one of my favorites on the album, but
yeah, but
that's what it is.
I like it, and then other people like it, and that will draw me into like other avenues.
Right.
It's funny, like you say that guy in Serbia. It's like you're not a mumble rapper, far from it.
Right.
But it's funny in other countries they probably maybe like mumble rap. So since it's foreign, they think it's all mumble rap.
Right. Well, the crazy thing is,
like, do they speak English?
Yeah.
the crazy thing is
they
they actually appreciate more authentic hip hop.
Yeah, no.
Because you got to remember those countries are kind of behind.
Delayed. Yeah. So they're just finding out about rap right now.
Right. Or they have an idea of it, but they like more of the essential sound.
Yeah.
Like they'll say, like you can still get a group like MOP or Gangstar that can go overseas and still be treated like it's 1989, man. Like
that's crazy.
They'll still get like Wu-Tang. That's another documentary I watched, which is also insane of Mics and Men.
Yeah, no.
You guys should check that out if you didn't watch it. And they go back now. I mean, and I'm not talking about like Ghostface,
right.
and I'm talking about Capadonna, like guys that weren't the as big with Wu-Tang that can still go back, and people are like, it's Wu-Tang, and it's like, dude, but here it's like it's a hit or miss.
Yeah.
You know,
Because we're so accustomed. It's like they're just finding out about a drug that we've been used to.
We've been on.
And we're
We've been on.
Yeah, exactly. They're on weed and we're like freebasing with like crocodile skin and shit like that. So we always need that next high, and we're on mumble rap right now.
They're still having the crack epidemic.
Yeah, exactly.
We're on meth and
But like
they
pills
just got
and
hit
shit.
with the.
Is that affecting artists like as far as making money? The fact that was going to be my question.
What you mean?
Like the streaming. So like Apple Music, I remember you.
I don't make shit off streaming.
But that's what I'm saying. No, but I know that every time.
Yo, if you want to know, you make 0.0000000.69 or something like that. Like when you get one stream.
That's a bummer.
So you make nothing. So the thing
is that like advertisement more? So
it's
like
more advertisement. It's definitely more advertisement. I mean, you got guys that's making 1 million streams and they're still coming back with like maybe a little over a couple thousand. Like they're
That's
not
what I'm
making
saying,
anything.
though.
Maybe
That's
less than that.
I mean, if you think of it,
So it's not the way it adds up is the more publicity obviously you get, the more people that are streaming it. Your money is still really in your touring and your live shows.
Okay, gotcha.
But streaming is like when you're an up and coming artist, it's definitely more so for advertisement.
That's
It's not,
what I'm
you
don't
don't make shit.
Yeah.
You really don't.
But
That's gotta hit.
But it's better to have than not.
Yes,
because then people
Yeah.
can catch on to your music. You can easily be like, oh, take out your phone, check out iTunes, check out Spotify.
Exactly.
So it gives you more of a platform. But they're making a shit ton of money because everyone's an artist, so everyone's bringing it. Because if you get like a TuneCore or you get a DistroKid or one of these companies where like I could pay, like right now I have DistroKid, I pay like 10 something a year, and I can stream my music all year. So I can upload any
So it's not
project.
a hit. You're not taking it.
I'm not taking a hit, but I'm also
not seeing dividends.
Really, I'm not seeing any dividends from it. But you got 1 million artists around the world. They're making a shit ton of money. But it is free advertisement for us, and it's just how you use it.
Yeah.
It's just like YouTube. You know what I mean? It's the way you use it, because everyone has the platform,
right?
But it's how you use it and how you advertise it, and that's how you'll make your mark.
So then what? Okay, so then what's the point then of like Post Malone dropped an album like a couple weeks ago, on a Friday, and that's like the big thing, like midnight or whatever release of an album. Like, does that really matter anymore? Because like, remember in the day you'd go out the next day and buy the album with Sam Goody, Borders, whatever, and that's how an artist would get his revenue. But like, if you just download it from like Apple Music, you're already paying the $5 whatever a month. Like,
I'll keep it 100 with you. I don't really know. I think it might be more of a algorithm bullshit or something like that.
Okay.
But so it might make more sense to do it at midnight.
Okay.
Just so people wake up to it.
Fair.
Instead of you having to be like, oh, by the way, while you're going to get your morning coffee, I dropped this. You know what I'm saying? Like it's already like you wake up and it's like, dude, it's already there.
It's already there.
Just go get it.
Exactly.
So it might be a that kind of thing. But I think you should drop your shit whenever you drop it. Like,
That's what we've
It's
been
a
doing.
big
We've been
thing.
Googling stuff and they're like, do it at these times. And I'm like, not everybody responds to these times. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, obviously they got some figured out.
Yeah.
But we don't.
Yeah.
So we're just
I feel like when things happen authentic, you know, you create a whole new path.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. Everyone likes to follow, like, you know, whatever path someone else set. And I mean, there's so many ways to, like, that's why I tell people all the time, like, oh, you afraid you're not going to get on because you don't have this many followers. And then everyone has their own path, man.
Yeah.
You know how I make money right now off music?
Yeah. No.
I work with a company that they do music for TV.
Okay.
So I work with this company, BMG. I also work with another company called Song Trader, which is way more accessible. Like anyone can get on Song Trader. BMG is a little more official and exclusive. But I work with two separate producers. They put me onto the situation, and I'm just basically their MC, and they do the production side, and also work with the company specifically. And and the company shops our music, and it gets on television. I've had music on Black Ink. I've had music on All American, the show All American. I've had music on Cloak and Dagger.
Oh shit! That Netflix.
The superhero joint.
Yeah.
I got a couple tracks on there. Like,
all right, now I gotta watch it.
It's just from, it's literally just from. I mean, I don't know what episode it's on. So good luck. You might have to get into that show.
Well, you can tell me to watch it. I'm like, I don't.
It's like it's on a couple. I know on Black Ink, Harlem or New York, whichever. I forgot what they call it, but the one based in New York, it's on like a mad episodes. It's on. Awesome. But that's like how I get like random like income from my music. It's not even from my stream.
Right.
And it's not from live shows right now because like I'm not just in that lane right now. I'm still.
So you put your
stuff
stuff out there, and then when it hits, then you run with it.
Yeah. So there's tons of lanes. So, you know, and I'm not saying like that's my main lane, but it's a lane that makes me feel like an official artist. Like I can actually tell people like, yo, like I have things on TV. Like I have like this is a lane that I'm actually working on. These are my credentials. You can't knock that I have songs on TV. Like you can't knock that. Instead of me just going like, my stuff's on iTunes. Like, oh, okay, so is everybody else's. Like, that doesn't really separate you. And so since I don't have the Instagram followers and stuff like that,
he took a jab on us, bro. It's like,
did I?
No, I'm kidding. We're only on iTunes right now.
I was like,
alright, we're all set.
Yeah, we're at Spotify. No one listens, but we have it there.
No, but you know what I'm saying? But like, you find lane, but you guys are finding different lanes. You just started. I mean, I've been doing this shit for a long time, so I have no excuses.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
mean, and clearly,
family, bro.
he's clearly, you know, you're doing the right thing, man. I think, I honestly, I don't know if you want to touch on this. I think you're a genuine human being. Ironically, what you were saying before is like, we started this podcast to like tell people out there, look, man, everybody's different, but we're the ones finding out like every interview we do or everything on the street we do. It's like, well, man, we're the ones getting surprised. Not everything's as crazy as it seems out there. And the work that you do with like kids, man, raising your own family, you've got to, you know, you got a good thing going on, dude. And I think that's if people are actually looking up to people, it should be people like you.
Thank you.
At least you're trying to break the mold and you're trying to do things.
That's
the song.
That's a segue. That's why we need a big bucks, dude. That's why I'm here, guys. Bro,
I love when things happen like just naturally. That's fire, bro. Yeah, no, definitely trying to break the mold. Definitely.
And that's all you can do, man. And you got to keep doing what you're doing. The last question I'll ask you, and we'll leave you with this. It's our next podcast we're doing is about censorship. So we're getting people's takes on, you know, big corporations out there, even stuff from the government, Second Amendment rights, First Amendment, yada yada. It's pretty heated. That's where I think like, if there's a big culture problem that we're you know, going to face soon, it's that. That's my opinion. I want to know what you think about it, and does it affect your industry, or even you? Do you ever feel like you can't say something? Does it affect your art, or do you just not give a shit and you say that anyways, and that's how you?
You gotta think about it. I mean, you do have to think about it because you gotta be prepared to fight.
Yeah.
If you say something that's not right or that's not, you know, accepted, the status quo, you know, like right now, it's the LGBT community is like super protected.
Right.
You say something about them, you're gonna get got.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, happened to Kevin Hart recently.
Happened to Dave Chappelle.
I mean, he went there. He went all the way there.
He went all the way.
He went as far as you can go.
But what I love about how he went there is he's ready for it.
Yeah.
It's unapologetic.
Yeah.
It's raw. It's not, you know.
And people know his track
But
record.
you have to be like that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be outlandish,
Yeah.
you gotta go all the way.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Silver too. He had that crazy special man where he just went all out on everyone. But
does it affect my the music that, you know, the industry I'm in? Yeah, to an extent. To an extent, I think rappers are more. They have a little more freedom. We don't, you know. That's a good question. I don't really think it affects us as much because I think people expect us to talk about whatever.
Yeah, because out of all the avenues out there, comedy and rap, more so in particular, are the ones that go against the grain.
I'll tell you the funny thing. I think rappers get in trouble more when they're just speaking candidly like this than they do in their music.
Fair enough.
I think more people in any industry, it's more so when you like, you're not gonna shit on a movie as much as you're gonna shit on a actor in a movie saying something inappropriate.
Yeah.
Like it was like the movie might be inappropriate as shit, and you'd be like, "Whoa, what is this?"
Yeah.
But if an actor separately from the movie says something that's inappropriate, it's like, "Oh, let's get at this guy."
Yeah,
so it's the same thing with music. Like you can listen to my music and be like, "Man, he's talking about a whole bunch of crazy stuff." But if I actually say it, like you guys are interviewing me right now, and I actually say some wild shit, like, you know, something about the LGBT community or something wild.
Right.
Then that's when everyone's like, "Whoa!" And it all depends on your platform too. It all depends on how big your platform is. Like, an artist like me, unfortunately, right now, no one's probably gonna care.
Yeah.
But if like a Jay-Z or if a J. Cole or if,
well,
you
with
know,
cancel culture being so prevalent, you know, that is definitely the case.
so the bigger you are, you know, and then it works, the reverse. Sometimes no one might know anything about me, but I might say something crazy on this camera right now, and everone's like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And now I got all this love or hate, in a totally different way. So I think like censorship can work against you or it can work for you. The way people approach it, but my personal opinion on it is there should be some kind of censorship. Like there should be some kind of, let's think about what we're saying, not actually censorship, but just people be more conscious of what they're saying.
Right.
To stop people from talking about things is the problem in our country in the first place. You can't stop people from saying things, and I think as crazy as Trump is, and as much as I, you know, don't want him to be our president. I think the fact that he's so outlandish, he's opened up the landscape for people to be a little less caring about censorship, which in a sense kind of works for us because now people are talking about shit that they normally wouldn't talk about. So it's a weird way in which he's kind of like, he's making like even Republicans look themselves in the mirror and be like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? So it's working in a, and the left
has gone, you know,
and the left is,
and people are beginning to be receptive to like that these both parties have extremes and they're both very dangerous. And
I think that was a problem in our last two presidents with even with Obama. I felt like Obama, everyone cared too much about the minority. They cared too much about the other side. And that's why when Trump came about, everyone else was like, oh, good, finally someone who cares about us. I think that's what messed Hillary up. Like when Hillary went out there,
I think Hillary messed herself up.
I'm saying no, but what I'm saying is when during her campaign, she tried to follow Obama's route. Instead of being like, I'm going to generalize and I'm going to go to the countries that weren't touched on. It wasn't going to work the same way for her that it did for Obama. You know what I'm saying? So like, and I'm not saying I wanted her to be president. I'm just saying that was her flaw.
Well, that's what worked for him is because she was objectively a bad politician in that time, even though like she's, you know, done wonders for like since she was younger. Like I mean, for herself, like the fact that she was able to get. I don't know if she's done wonders for anybody. I don't know. I don't follow her.
I don't know about. I'm just talking about her campaign.
Well, like that's why.
I don't know shit about politics. I'll be perfectly honest.
That's why Trump got elected, you know, because she was not that great. If it was Bernie and him, there would have been a better fight.
I mean, let's keep it real. None of our presidents really do anything. The idea of everyone thinking they're figureheads. So no one. The idea that people think, oh, we put this guy in, our lives are going to be over, or our lives are going to be better. If you believe that, you know, I know a bunch of black people who hate Obama now because they feel like he didn't do anything. What the fuck was he supposed to do? He's a president. He's not like, you know, our Congress is what's more important. People forget that. And we're more important. Who we decide to be in Congress and what we decide to do in our respective states, that's what's more important. You know, but people just think, the president's supposed to, you know, let him do whatever. Well, he's supposed to fix all the problems. He's not
the same problem.
You know, he's not God. So it's just it's interesting how people view that. But good question, man.
Yeah, that's the only worry I have in the future. It's like we can work past all this other stuff. I think I just don't want to lose our right to
We won't.
speak.
I don't think.
I
don't
like
think.
even like what you were saying with the sensitive thing. Here's the thing. I'm not an asshole because I love being an asshole. Well, actually, hold on. I do like being an asshole.
Every asshole loves stop.
Correct yourself.
Every asshole loves being an asshole.
But I'm not an asshole because I was born this way.
No, I know.
So, what, like the thing I have with the like the freedom of speech and all that kind of stuff, it's like you should be sensitive. You should be, gauging people's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't go around using the N word, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not. I know it's going to trigger someone. It's not going to respond well with someone. It's not going to sit right. I don't go around saying, the F word or like, the one they use for gays.
Right.
Just so we don't get confused. But unless I'm joking around, right? But
Right.
I don't think we should be going to jail for that for dropping a word. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah.
Or like censoring, because that's the slippery slope I'm worried about. It's like don't say the N word because the consequences are going to be you're going to get hit for someone
Well,
else.
now we're starting to.
Don't say Nazi. That's another N word. We used to fight those guys.
Right, right.
Don't call white people Nazis because they're not. I mean, there might be some Nazis. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they are.
But they're not. They're not.
They won't be mad if they are. They'll be like, yeah, that's me. But if they're not, and you're generalizing people, then that's a
that
problem.
does more damage.
Well, you shouldn't go to jail.
Yeah, don't
That's
censor people. Don't
ridiculous.
fine people.
Because that's a dictatorship. Now we're living in a whole different world.
Exactly, and now we got other things.
We
to
got
worry
bigger
about.
problems, and as a people, we have more reason to rally together.
Exactly.
And more reason to fight against, whatever powers it may be. But yeah, that's
Absolutely.
definitely not a good idea to censor to the point where if people say something, you gotta pay a fine. Or you gotta go
get
to jail.
canceled. You lose your job.
exactly.
Do all this. Now all that is now you know who that person is.
Yeah,
and that's it. That should be enough because now you don't want to.
Now in certain industries, like if they have policies, that's different.
Yeah.
But if
Oh,
we're
that's a corporation.
But if we're
Yeah.
generalizing just people on the street,
Yeah. I'm talking about government and the potential to go to jail for this.
Yeah,
shit.
no,
You
not
lose it.
jail.
Your
Not
company
jail.
is your company. You know, you
Not
have your
jail.
own policy.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
yeah, man. So we'll put the links down below. Yeah. Thanks a lot for everything. You're
Seriously, man.
a genuine human
Awesome.
being.
Bro.
Appreciate you for doing this.
Thank you,
Nice
man.
meeting you.
Thank
and,
you, guys.
we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, man. Thank you,
Peace
guys.
New York, baby.
Bro.
All right, man.
That was
Good
dope.
shit, man.
That was